Find yourself in the Beachview area of Pittsburgh? Check out the official pizza of this show, Slice on Broadway, sharing an abnormal obsession with pizza we can relate to. Check them out at sliceonbroadway.com and tell them this show sent you.
Zach Gowen joins us this week to talk wrestling and video games on Boss Battle. Welcome everybody to Boss Battle number 106, a show in which the writers of InsertCoinToBegin.com get together to talk about video games. I'm your host, Bobby F. J. Tom, but before we get to the candy that flew out of this podcast we just hit with a stick, let's find out what everybody achieved this week. Chachi, what about you?
Bobby, no.
Bobby, give yourself a place to breathe in the intro, man. That was crazy.
I'm just trying to get it out there.
I broke my glasses.
Oh, no.
That's not an achievement.
No. Luckily, I'm thanking whatever deity caused me to have to wear glasses in the first place for taking away my far vision and not my near vision. Because if I wouldn't have been able to see close up, I would have been extremely pissed at not being able to play video games. But luckily, that didn't happen. I downloaded Stick of Truth.
Nice.
I think I'm pretty close to completing it already. I got it Friday.
One of the games I already beat. So.
One of the few.
Really good game. It's honestly the first South Park game that I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
The rest of them, we all know, aren't that great. But I did a review on McPixel. I give it a 2 out of 5. You can pass if you want to.
You can pass if you want to.
Yeah, I'm starting. You guys will be happy to know that I'm starting Llamas with Hats.
Yes!
Finally.
So you'll get. I'm sure I'll give you guys updates as I go, but that review will be up Monday, so it'll be good to go.
Awesome. Sorg, what did you achieve this week?
WWE Supercard, man. And I installed Tapped Out on my iPad. So that's where I'm going. You know, I kind of made a determination. You guys are probably going to hate me for this because any night that I have that's nice out, I go to my back porch, read comics on my iPad, and play some music on my laptop or my phone and just kind of chill. So I feel like I'm not going to get back into main console video games until it's super rainy or cold out. So that's becoming like a winter thing. But when I do, dude, I'm blowing through all those games. It's just happening if I'm stuck in the house. So it's mostly mobile stuff that I've been addicted to, like WWE Supercard. There's a thread going on in the Wrestling Mayhem Show group right now. That's shows you how insane that's been going. Everybody was playing Supercard while we were in the hangout for wrestling WWE Raw last night. It's like it makes the 3-hour Raw. We'll talk about this more, I'm sure, on the Mayhem Show.
Yeah, and on this show.
Yeah, definitely. But that's what I got.
Zach, did you achieve anything this week?
Yeah, I was just thinking about what I achieved, and I completed my first season in 2K14 with the
nice.
Using the My Career guy I created myself. I was drafted by the Portland Trailblazers in the draft, and then I worked my way up, and it's the first basketball game I think I've played since NBA Live '95.
Nice.
And so to see the obvious the leap in technology and the improvements is super fun.
You can see people sweat now.
Yeah, you can see it's awesome, man. It's amazing, and just implementing the game plans and things like that, just super fun. And I've been playing Strider. And that's been a ton of fun, Metroidvania style type of game. A lot of fun. I wish I'd recommend anybody getting it, but the only downside is they don't really reward looking for secrets all that much, and that's kind of like one of the best things for me to do is explore the whole map and find secrets and things like that. But the rewards aren't that great in that game. But and now I just downloaded Zen Pinball 2, and I'm having a blast with that. My wife, her sister, and my buddy Brandon were out playing it right now. So yeah. Besides that, man, it's just been a pretty good week.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I achieved WWE Supercard as well. Addicted to that game. And they had a sale on Auto on The Simpsons Tapped Out, and I purchased Auto for 90 donuts. So I have Auto now. That's about all I achieved this week. Oh, and I'm closer to getting Star-Lord on Avengers Alliance.
Bobby, no.
But
I can't really say Bobby,
racket.
no, since I'm on like 2 freemium games right now. But yeah.
All right. Well, Chachi, with that sad news, you want to take us around the net?
Yes. It's time for this week's edition of Video Game Themed Things from Around the Internet.
Nets.
Really light week for themed things. But I did manage to dig up some stuff, and it's pretty good. Let's start with the runners-up. I got one for each of you, honestly, this week. Sorg.
Yes.
Yes. A fan of the horrible game Shenmue.
No, it was a great game for its time.
Has started remaking an HD version of it.
Respect the forklifts.
However, I wouldn't expect to ever see it because apparently this isn't the first time, and it won't be the last time that someone's tried to remake Shenmue. And it turns out that because they're doing it all themselves, they never actually finish it. And then Bobby. Pokemon
I'm listening.
has released a made Pikachu contest or costume.
Yeah, you're talking about it, aren't you?
Yeah, it's because I'm so disturbed. First off, I don't understand why Pikachu was ever in a maid outfit. Secondly, I don't understand why they would ever make this. However,
because you know why? Because Japan.
Yeah.
You can get your little Pikachu made keychain. Oh, you read the article. There's Japan's Pikachu Cafe serves Pikachu burgers and more. Why do I want to eat Pikachu?
I watched. Okay, let me just segue here a sidebar here for a minute.
Okay.
I watched the World's Strangest Restaurants over the weekend on the FYI network, which just started. There was a Japanese restaurant where maids served you food and spoon-fed it to you with chopsticks. And if you failed a challenge that they had, they slapped you in the face. That is Japan for you.
All right. So let's not go there.
That's saying I want to go there.
Book it.
All right, let's get to the beef of this burger of an update.
Let's get to the beef of this Pikachu burger.
Yeah. We all know how obsessed I am with Phil Fish. Well, he sent out a tweet shortly after, probably it was 2 days ago actually, shortly after the news of him broadcasting him playing Pokemon hit. And it said, seriously, shut the fuck up about Fez 2. Never gonna happen. You don't deserve it. Oh, no, you don't understand. There's some shit happening right now on the internet. More than the Ferguson stuff. There's a game developer who had a nasty breakup with their boyfriend. And he released 5,000 words worth of shit that she's done, allegedly. So, and one of them is sleeping with five guys from Kotaku in exchange for positive reviews on her game.
Oh, 5 guys.
Yeah. No, 5 human males. And so if you want some entertaining stuff, just go read Phil Fish's Twitter feed. Because he has been going off on people. Apparently they're friends, and it's a whole big thing. I'm trying to stay out of it. I can't. It's a train wreck. I keep getting sucked back in.
Can I ask, because I don't know, I found myself with this thought. Who do you hate more, Phil Fish or Zack Ryder?
Oh. You know, I don't hate Zack Ryder.
Yay.
I mean, yes, I give Zack a lot of shit on Twitter, mainly because of his gimmick. Like, the whole Long Island, New York thing, I just don't dig. Yeah. He's not a bad wrestler. He's one of those characters that I can't get behind. Kind of like Tyler Breeze.
Mm-hmm.
What? You shut your mouth.
Oh, this is another conversation we're not getting into.
We're not having this conversation right now. It's on Twitter. You can go read it. Me and Eamon went back and forth. But, I mean, he's a great wrestler. I don't mind watching him wrestle. it's just all the woo 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 and all that other crap that I just can't get behind. So I mean, I dislike Phil Fish. I don't dislike Zack Ryder. I just like giving him a hard time. Because, I mean, most of the time, Zach will just acknowledge it and move on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, it fuels him, which is a great thing. But Phil Fish, he gave up on life, and now
Phil Fish is just
Pokemon.
angers, and he continues getting angry, and doesn't make anything, and plays Pokemon.
Yeah, horribly. So, yeah, anytime Phil Fish is pissed off on Twitter, it brightens my day. So that was an entertaining thought from him. Next up, this is a commercial. I would just like to state that we were in no way, shape, or form reimbursed by EA for me putting this in a post. It's just I found all 3 minutes and 37 seconds of this Madden 15 ad hilarious.
The weird thing that happened to me when I went to the page, the other story started playing at the same time, and I'm like, how did Madden get the Mario music? It's like they both started playing at the same time, and I'm like, what the heck is this?
So, a brief run-through of the commercial. In the commercial, Madden 15 has just come out. Kevin Hart goes to Dave Franco's house and just starts talking trash via rap. And it's just to get him to, like, kind of psych him out, because the whole theme of this is that you have to get in your rival's head to psych him out. Mm-hmm. And it's from start to finish one of the funniest commercials I've ever seen. I mean, halfway through, there's a group of rappers that are saying blah, blah, blah really, really fast. Is that like the minute 53 mark, I believe? Mm-hmm. The only word that they actually say is Madden.
I just saw the bear rise up from the pool at the piano.
Oh, that's I believe that's DJ Snacky Snack, I believe they say. And then if you've never followed me on Twitter, then you wouldn't know, but I'm a huge fan of Epic Mealtime on YouTube. It's a group of guys that just make outrageous shit. We're talking like 10-pound burgers with 5 pounds of bacon stuffed with hot dogs wrapped with bacon inside or in between 2 buns that are filled with meats or cheeses. It's just, I mean, you're talking like 50,000 calorie meals.
They also have a show on FYI Network.
Yeah, they do. At the end of the commercial, Harley Morenstein comes out and he's like, Dave, your house is on fire. And Dave's just like, let it burn, as he runs back a kickoff. But it's hilarious. So 3 minutes and 37 seconds, well worth your time. Last but not least, I featured them in this post before. YouTube channel ADHD released a new video called "Songs You Didn't Know Had Lyrics" of Super Mario World. It's 1 minute and 1 second long of Mario being a dick to Yoshi. Yeah. I mean, at one point, it's like, you don't have to punch me in the back of the head. and at the end, it's just Mario doing flips to reach the jumping off of Yoshi, going over a cliff to reach the final finish. And it's just him flipping and giving Yoshi the finger. It's hilarious.
Nice.
And that's all I have for you this week in video game themed things from around the internet.
All right.
Back to you, Bobby.
All right. This week we have a very special guest with us today, Zach Gowen, professional wrestler. How'd you get into video games, Zach? And tell us about the documentary Finding Zach Gowen and about your wrestling career.
Sure. Well, thanks. First of all, thanks for having me. I do a lot of podcasts, I get a lot of podcast requests, but they're mostly about wrestling. And so people, they'll ask me, what was Vince McMahon like? What was Hulk Hogan like? And I've answered that about 6 million times.
Yeah, we figured.
So yeah, exactly.
Well, now at least
intimidating, man.
now at least you can tell them to buy the DVD to find out, right?
Yeah.
Well, you got to go to ZachGowen.com and click on Finding Zach Gowen, man. I'll give you all the information you need. So it's nice to be on a podcast about an actual interest I have. And not that I'm not interested in my career. I've lived it, you know. And so to be able to talk about video games is pretty exciting for me. I've loved video games since I can remember growing up, and they've always been a huge part of my life, you know. And so, like, you know, I was born in 1983, man. So Nintendo was out in '84. I grew up. I remember getting, you know, Nintendo for Christmas. I remember getting Sega Genesis for my birthday, Super Nintendo, you know, all through the years or whatever. But you know, video gaming has always played a huge part in my life. And it's still to this day. It was something that my interest kind of waned for a while there in my 20s, when I was off doing other non-productive or constructive things, you know. And so it's nice to get back into the mix, right? And to play games and to, you know, rekindle that love, because let's face it, they do things now in games, right? They do things that my 11-year-old brain dreamed about. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there 11 years old, and I'm like, man, wouldn't it be cool if they could do this, if they could do that, if video games, and they have the technology to do that now. So I feel like I owe it to my 11-year-old self to like indulge myself in all of this, you know, awesome games that are coming out, man, from, you know, the major publishers, from Nintendo still producing just amazing games, to indie games. You know what I mean? Like I think we live in the golden age of gaming right now. And it's not like it's reduced to like little kids playing. You know what I mean? It's not like a little kid thing now. It's like I'm 31 years old and I say, hey, I play games. You go anywhere, and then people just identify with me right off the bat. Like, yeah, I play games too. What do you play? All right, cool. You know what I mean? So that nerd stigma is off of it, and that kid stigma is off of it too. And I think it makes it more acceptable, which brings in better quality, man. So yeah, like I said, I'm happy to be here.
No problem. What are some of your favorite games?
My favorite game of all time, the best game ever made, is Super Metroid.
Nice.
Oh, no.
Yeah, absolutely. Super Metroid is
The best game ever made is the original Legend of Zelda. Come on, Sorg.
No, the original Legend of Zelda is awesome. A link, what is it? A link between
Link
to
from the past.
the Past. Yeah, that's probably the second or third best game. I would say Mario 3 too.
Yeah,
that's
my
up
favorite.
there. But yeah, there's some amazing, you know, I think what they were able to accomplish with the 16 bits, I think that's the best generation of game. Because if you think about it, like their technology was so limited and what they could do, so to have that like artistic vision and to be able to implement them with limited tools, and Super Metroid takes you on a journey emotionally, you know, and they were able to do that 16 bits with, you know, not a lot of RAM, not a lot of memory in the bank, you know. So now it's like, okay, well, you have great imagination, but the technology's there to make awesome games, and every game that comes out that has millions of dollars pumped into it should be awesome. They should be. There's no excuse for it not to be.
Some aren't, but yeah.
Yeah, some aren't, and that's bullshit because there's no excuse for it not to be. There really isn't.
Well, going back to what you said about the 16-bit era, like towards the end of the 16-bit era, like with Star Fox and like just that 3D, to be able to do that on like such a small platform like the SNES was like amazing back in the day.
It sure was, man. And you go into early PlayStation games and N64 when the 3D technology was kind of, you know, they kind of started the boom right into, you know, with GoldenEye and Mario and things like that. Mario did it awesome, man. Mario 64 is one of the best games ever made.
Yeah.
They did it right, but like the early PlayStation games and a lot of the early Nintendo games too, when that 3D technology was so new, it looked worse on those consoles than it did on SNES, man. Yep.
Well, they're still finding things in Mario 64, like we talked about last week. There's still that one Goomba last week where they said that they found it like way at the bottom. You couldn't kill it. So
really?
All those games are still like relevant today.
Yeah, man. You can pick up Mario 64 now in blast through it in 4 hours. You could spend a whole Sunday doing it. I like watching the speedruns, man.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The Mario 64 speedruns are incredible. Like the amount of skill and precision in those controls is second to none.
Awesome. All right, we're going to get to some things you should be made aware of now. Guys, there's a Pigeon dating simulator.
Come on.
It's been pushed back. I hate to tell you guys this, but yeah, it's been pushed back to September. September. Let me pull it up here. September 4th. It's called How to Fool Boyfriend. I said it was a slow news week this week.
Make sure you send that one to Pit Girl.
I will have to do that. Yes, it's a pigeon dating simulator. It simulates how you would date a pigeon.
wait, as a person or as another pigeon?
I think as a person.
I want to point out, for those on audio, the pigeons have mohawks.
Yeah, the pigeons have mohawks and leather jackets, so it's kind of like a West Side Story thing going on here. Like the Goodfellas on Animaniacs.
Wow.
Right,
okay. Are we over? Are we now like jumping the shark as far as the simulator games? Because we had Penguin Simulator a couple weeks ago. I'm excited that Ghost Simulator is coming to mobile, so I'll finally pick that up. But still, like it should have started and ended with Ghost Simulator.
And again, because Japan. That's why.
Yes.
All right, and the creator of Flappy Bird is back in the news. His new game is coming out very soon. It's called Swing Copters. And basically, it's Flappy Birds only vertically. It goes up now. And it's a little guy with a helicopter that avoids swinging hammers going back and forth. And it's the same graphics as Flappy Bird, only with a lot less Mario influence. Yeah. And
He's gonna double his fortune with that just by inverting his game, man. Good for him.
Just by inverting it, and it does. Admittedly, it looks pretty cool.
It looks just as hard to play.
When Swing Copters launches on iOS on Android this Thursday, August 21st, it'll be a free download with sole in-app purchase of 99 cents to remove the ads. Whether or not it'll beat the clones to the chase, it remains to be seen. So they're talking about actually more clones of this game being made before he actually gets this game out. So yeah. But yeah, good to see that guy making games again and back in the news instead of just walking away from it like he did before.
Are we really glad to see this guy making games again?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's look at what he's given us. He gave us a horizontal Flappy Bird and a vertical Flappy Bird.
I'm happy with any indie developer finding success. Ish.
I mean, the guy's name was Dong.
He's from Vietnam!
Very valid point, Bobby.
And because Japan.
No, it's Vietnam.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vietnam. I'm sorry. I apologize to our Vietnam delegation, wherever you may be. All right, and our final news bit story is the game No Man's Sky that was announced at E3 this year. It's a PlayStation 4 exclusive, coming to PC later. It's a timed exclusive. They said it's going to take up to 5 billion years to see every planet that's going to be in the game. It's a huge game.
That's just insane.
Yeah, they had a 32-bit version of it that they were working on first, and they said that would take you 5,000 years to see every planet. If you'd visit each planet for 1 second, it would take you 5,000 years. Now they have a 64-bit version they're working on, and that's going to take you 5 billion years to reach every single planet and visit for like 1 second. So they said the game isn't infinite, but it feels infinite on how many places you can visit and stuff you can explore. The game sounds really neat, but it's kind of going to be like Minecraft. I don't think there's going to be like a lot of things you could do other than just explore. So it's like one of those calming games like Minecraft, basically.
So it's just kind of like, I'm going to roll through space and like that's it. Right?
From what they said, you'll get your own planet, and you can visit anybody else's planet in the game. So I guess you can do what you want with the planet. I'm not sure what they said there are dinosaurs in it. So
Okay.
Well, dinosaurs are cool.
yeah. But I just thought it was neat how expansive the game's going to be. It kind of does have that Minecraft feel, where even Minecraft said that their world is like infinite and it keeps going and going. So, all right, our next story, the Metal Gear remake that somebody was making, the group called Outer Heaven. They were remaking the first Metal Gear, and they were, as of a couple days ago, they had David Hayter, the voice of Solid Snake, involved with the game. They actually, Konami actually told them to shut it down. I don't know if it was because of David Hayter being involved in the game, and recently he left the Metal Gear Solid franchise. Kiefer Sutherland is now the voice of Snake. So I don't know if they didn't like his involvement with the project, and that's why. But they were on board with this project before. I guess he was going to remake it just from the ground up.
So are we talking? Is this a remake of like the old like?
Yeah, the NES one, the original NES.
But it looks like they are putting it in 3D.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, they were. Now they can't do that anymore because Konami told them to knock it off.
That stinks.
So it's kind of sad for like Metal Gear Solid fans or Metal Gear fans. But you know, what are you gonna do? Yep. Konami just didn't give him the approval for it. So.
Well, I mean, these people should really ask permission before they start doing this stuff.
They did ask permission, and they originally gave them permission. They told him go ahead and do it. And they said they even told him, like, if this goes well, we could even, back this game. But I guess because of David Hayter's participation, they pulled the plug on it.
It's not the first time there was something like that. Actually, the guy that is involved with at least the Sonic CD remakes on the iPhone will start doing them on his own as like hacked versions, and they actually hired the guy and incorporated it with their releases for Sega. That's why you see I think it's like David Whitehead or something when you load it up here. I guess I could just load it up and see. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people do this. I mean, like the Team Fortress guys got hired by Valve. That's a kind of a good way to backdoor your way into a company like this as a developer, it seems. So.
Okay. Hold on 1 sec.
Oh, are we having a technical glitch? You all right, Bobby?
Yeah.
Are you with us?
For some reason, I'm here. For some reason, my videos are automatically starting to play, and I have like 5 videos playing at once.
Oh no.
The Pokemon Championship was this weekend, and an unexpected Pokemon actually took the crown as on the championship team. A Pachirisu. Everybody was shocked to see the Parichisu or whatever it was, because I guess it's not a very popular Pokemon, but the guy that won used that one. And basically, we have a couple different Pokemon stories for you this week in our Pokemon Roundup. So you want to tell us how successful Pokemon is? This story for us?
Oh, this was fun. Yeah. Oh, geez, what is the number? There was a list from Polygon about just how great Pokemon's done over the years. The Pokemon video game franchise has sold more than 260 million games worldwide. I think that was
more than people.
More than the currently registered cars in America.
Yeah.
The Pokemon trading card game has shipped more than 21.5 billion cards. I think my brother has about a quarter of those. In 74 countries, 10 languages. They've had 17 full-length Pokemon feature films. Now, they don't get all theater released here. But again, I think my brother has at least half of those. The most recently released games, Pokemon X and Y, sold nearly 12 million copies. They were just released back in October of last year. They sold 12 million in the first 4 months. So Pokemon not going away, guys. But I mean, you can see it. Like, I mean, I hopped in and I was playing Pokemon Yellow, and I was really enjoying it. It's very timeless. Man, they would sell, and this is why they're not really in a hurry to put it on iPhone or something. And this is the system seller for them. Across the board, easily.
You gotta look. You gotta think about it. The whole car thing, not really surprising.
Mm-hmm.
Considering that blue and red alone.
Yeah, they released 2 Pokemon games at a time, not one.
Well, right. I mean,
you don't buy 2 cars.
Right. Yeah. You don't go out and buy 2 cars right back to back unless you're super rich.
My household alone had red, blue, and yellow.
Right. Exactly. So I mean, that's 3 games for one house. How many cars did you guys have?
-1.
Exactly.
Wow.
So there it goes. I mean, so yes, it's amazing that they release 2 games at a time, and it's still huge. But on the same side, on the other side of the coin, it's not really that big of a stat.
Mm-mm. Cool.
All right, our next story, Pokemon. It's another Pokemon one. We're sticking with the Pokemon theme here. Nintendo issued a copyright notices for a Bulbasaur planter. Somebody made it with a 3D printer, and it looks like Bulbasaur, and they had a plant growing out of the back that looked like Bulbasaur's plant. And then Nintendo was like, "No, you can't do this."
It's amazing, though. Were they trying to sell it?
If Nintendo was smart, they released this or a Chia version of Bulbasaur.
Yeah, they don't have like Pokemon Chias yet. They're going to very, very soon.
Yeah, it would be smart. I mean, people like their Pokemon.
I like this. That was really cool, and to see that was like a 3D printer kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I'm still.
And on the Polygon page, you can actually download the original model that he used to come up with it.
Nice, and that's where you get kind of in trouble there, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So awesome.
No,
so
it was because it was so popular. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the site that she was selling it on, Shapeways, is the site that I used to make the medals for Chachi Plays.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all based on the amount of purchases from that webpage.
Oh, so it's not even I have a 3D printer. It's they're going through one of these kind of crowd 3D printer services.
Right.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and any company is going to shut something down that's taking money out of their pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if she wanted to play it safe, she would have only done like a handful and sold them at a time, and then done another handful. But
yeah, and the sad thing about it, kind of though, is it doesn't. I mean, it kind of looks like Bulbasaur, but not enough for Nintendo to go after them. You know. I mean, it has no eyes.
Well, I think the other thing was it labeled as a Bulbasaur planner.
Yeah,
that's like, well, the intention is it is going to be this, and as a copyright, you're like, well, again, you say it doesn't look much like a Bulbasaur. They're like, well, we don't want some cruddy version of our product out here for something like this. So it's not just hey, we're not getting money from this, screw you. There's a lot of facets to the copyright issue there.
We should have called it Bulb Monster.
There you go.
So, all right, with our special guest this week, we had to have a wrestling story, and we have been like enamored with this game all week long, Sorg. We can't put it down. WWE Supercard, and also the WWE 2K15 roster was announced this week. So, what are your thoughts on both of these items? We'll start with Supercard. What do you guys think of Supercard so far?
Well, you already know I'm addicted. To the point, I was we were at an indie show Saturday, not a terribly exciting one, and MSC's there, and she's usually working the DVD table, and I'm like, well, have you tried this game yet? Because I'm just like, please play anything other than Candy Crush at this point. And so I'm like, try this thing, and okay, beginning of the show, and she already I started Thursday, and I thought I went into a pretty heavy Thursday night. She already almost beat my win-loss record in number of games by like intermission. And she's barely put it down since. She's ridiculous. She's won King of the Ring already.
Wow.
Yeah.
I come in second in King of the Ring because I paid attention to it when I had to at the end.
Yeah.
And I fought my way to the finals, but I lost. But I did get 2 Dolph Ziggler cards and combined them into a pro, and
it's
he's
got
one of my best players now.
It's got enough into it where, like, I played a similar game with Transformers Legends, and it was my first kind of card game like this, and like the idea that it kind of does everything for you kind of threw me, and I'm like, what's the point of this? Because you pick your cards, but then it's like, oh yeah, you won. It's like nothing, right? Yeah. I'm trying to throw up a video where there's actually movement here, but these ones, it's like the cards in 3D are quote walking down to the ring and then actually like do a wrestling move on each other as cards with these people on them. It's ridiculous.
Like battle chess.
It is. Yeah, it is like a battle chess kind of thing. Like AJ Lee in this video I'm showing for the podcast, just like gave a jackknife power bomb to a Summer Rae card. You know, they don't even match. They just pick something. The tag team ones are fun. It's got enough like I say, it's got enough going on that it just keeps you on and doesn't really bug you too early to get more cards.
Yeah, it's very, very accessible early.
Yeah.
Like I'm now starting to run into some like the super cards and stuff like that. Like the I've never seen a legendary card in it yet. But I've seen a couple like super rares. I actually have one super rare, which is AJ Lee. And she's dominating the Diva division. Like if it's a Divas fight, I usually win right off the bat because of my AJ Lee card. So it was Summer Rae that was dominating before, which is shameful. No, it was Eva Marie, which is definitely shameful.
And this is across both. Well, you're on Android and I'm on iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching LB playing it on his iPad Mini, so it's definitely across everywhere. So very accessible. I'm wondering. I know we were kind of saying like, you know, we were at that point sitting there at SummerSlam party saying, why can't we trade cards?
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I wish.
And also, do I really need to get like 6 Virgils? Like,
yes.
That seems a little bit ridiculous. So
somebody, I think it was Shireman, said he wants to train Virgil to be like an unstoppable force, which would be amazing. So, have you guys, either one of you, Zach or Chachi, have you guys tried it yet?
No, this is the first time I'm hearing of it.
It's actually a really cool game.
Hmm.
Sounds like it.
It's very graphic intensive. No, definitely not.
Well, it is to a point because it is definitely like using the 3D hardware, right?
Yeah. I guess so.
Like more than I expected. When you saw like the entrance ramp and like the turning, I was just like, wow, this is a card game. You know,
I skip that stuff.
Well, yeah, after a while because you're going to see it so many times.
Yeah,
or at least speed up the match.
I can only watch Rusev and Dolph Ziggler walk down to the ring so many times.
And that is the nice thing is you're not stuck watching the thing every time. You can like kind of tap on it and it'll speed up the process as it's adding the stats and doing the moves, and you can kind of get to the point. Like, but there's a lot of like extra trim on it that's worth it. And I bet Missy just picked up this game and is starting to play it right now as she sat down in the studio.
Talking about it.
No.
No, I haven't played it yet because you guys were all playing it, and I have other mobile games that I need to be playing.
Chachi wants to be different, like llamas with hats.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's just at any given time, I have the games that I'm playing that I've already reviewed or don't plan on reviewing because they're not relevant, or I have at least 2 games on my phone at all times that I plan on reviewing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really have the space on the phone to have yet another game that is probably not going to get touched. Honestly, I'll play it like once every 2 days or something like that. But because of the other stuff I'm playing, it's just not feasible.
Right, and of course, WWE 2K15 had their giant roster reveal this week. A few people were left off the roster that were kind of disappointing. Like I know, Riz was disappointed that Great Khali wasn't on the roster. Other people, I think Zack Ryder wasn't on the roster this time. But there's some good additions this year. The Wyatt family's finally on. Xavier Woods was a bit of a surprise. Being on the roster. Are you guys happy with the roster? Who do you want to see added on? Who do you want to see not be on the roster? Were you surprised CM Punk is still on there?
Not surprised to CM Punk because he'll sell copies.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He'll sell copies.
Like
Interesting, though, he was not around for the body scanning, so his is not going to look as good as everybody else's. And actually, the word is it doesn't look good at all compared to a lot of others. And same thing. The other thing I was reading, all the legends, like all the deceased legends that used to be in the game, again, because they weren't body scanned. They decided not to include them in this game, but they do intend to release them in a future version, next year's version or something. So they will come back. So if you're wondering, why certain old school guys are not on there, that'd be the reason why. But you can definitely get your ass kicked by Eddie Guerrero in the WWE Supercard game. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So. But no, it's looking pretty fleshed out. Like, it's one of those, like, you don't realize who's missing until you get into it.
Yeah.
And it's always, I didn't notice, because they just had a large roster cleansing. Is there anybody, Alberto Del Rio, for instance, I noticed is in here.
Del Rio's on there.
I'm not counting Batista, but, I mean, all around, it's anybody that did anything in the last year seems to be on this. So it's about what you expect, and of course, they're going to, have the downloads, created wrestlers. I mean, it's not like it's hard to fill in the gaps anymore with as many tools as they give you in these games. So as long as they work, unlike WWE 2K12 or whatever.
Right. I mean, anyone that the fans are pissed off about not being there are going to end up being there through DLC.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
all the popular. Sorry,
what's that?
I say all the popular indie wrestlers are in here by the time you get to the creator wrestler stuff.
Right, right. So I mean, like Bo Dallas, he'll be in there. He'll be in one of the first downloads, just because it's Bo Dallas and he's huge. I mean, he's popular right now. So I mean, it's just a matter of DLCs. It'll be what they charge extra for, because they know people will pay for it.
I'd like to see them do an NXT DLC pack. I think that would be kind of cool.
Well, just like kind of whoever's been hot over the last year.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like Chachi's favorite wrestler.
Tyler Breeze.
Maybe Adrian Neville. Sami Zayn, of course. All those guys like that. That would be kind of fun. No Mojo Rawley, though. Nobody wants that.
Hey, everybody wants Mojo.
I'm on the Mojo side. I'm on Team Mojo.
I don't get hype. I stay hyped.
Hashtag pray for Mojo.
Everyone wants Mojo.
No, we
don't. Wrong podcast, Bobby.
I know. All right. But this is going to tie into our final battle question, which is, what are your favorite wrestling video games? It could be any video game wrestling related. Zach, you want to start us?
I think the best of all time is No Mercy, or the one What was that All Japan one? That
Fire Pro?
Was it Fire Pro? No. It was with the No Mercy engine, but it had. I downloaded the ROM a number of years ago, and it had the No Mercy engine, but it had all of the All Japan guys, and it had New Japan guys, and it had WCW guys.
I get it. I recently, like last year, I'd never seen that game before. But I was watching Chuck Taylor was playing it, and he was playing as like Stan Hansen and stuff. I'm like, what is this game I've never heard of? And he's like pulling all these crazy characters I've never seen in a wrestling game before.
It was incredible. They had to get around the licenses, so they renamed some of the guys, but it was pretty much the who's who of wrestling. And
Pro Wrestling X is a game that I've come up with the name.
Pro Wrestling X.
That might be it.
Yeah, I downloaded the ROM of it, man, and it was all in Japanese, so I had to kind of navigate the menu blindly. But once you got into it, man, it was incredible. I liked the what was it, Royal Rumble, the stand-up arcade one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was incredible.
Didn't that come to Dreamcast too?
Yeah.
Was it on Dreamcast?
I think so.
I wasn't one of the fortunate ones to have Dreamcast, but I remember playing in the arcade a bunch for sure.
Nice.
Of course, WrestleFest too in the arcades.
WrestleFest is awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
The one game that lets you play as Big Boss Man.
Yes.
No, you had Boss Man in WrestleMania Challenge, that one with Ultimate Warrior on the cover.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That was a good one. That was just like that was a big upgrade. Okay, because remember, like we had WrestleMania, and it was like the ring, and you couldn't get out of the ring, and everybody pretty much acted the same, and it was kind of rough. And then you went to, hey, the ring I can actually go outside and it's caddy corner. It's not just a square on thing. I meant to look for it. I actually have WrestleMania, like based on the NES game, the little like Tiger LCD one.
Oh, nice.
That's just Hulk Hogan versus Andre. But it
Terrible.
uses, but
God, those are terrible. Every single Tiger game. Those games are awful. I had about 55 of them, and they were all terrible.
Those were Game Boys before Game Boy.
These were mine.
No, they came out after Game Boy.
All right, man. No, some of them were before. Like here, in arm's reach, in arm's reach, I got Tiger Pinball, and I got Tiger's the Terminator, man.
I had Tiger Castlevania.
Yeah.
I had Tiger Bo Jackson football and baseball. That stuff sucked, man.
Do you guys remember the ones that were just the dots, the lines? The football games and stuff.
Oh, I got those up in the office, man.
And
the baseball one too.
Those were awesome.
Those were
back in the day. I was gonna repurchase one.
You can't if you're talking wrestling games. You gotta go with the original with NES Pro Wrestling.
Yeah,
that's
Starman.
Yes.
Yeah, Starman.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on you, man. I didn't mean to step on your.
No. I was waiting for you guys to finish talking about the Tiger games. Pro Wrestling Starman, best of all.
A winner is you, bro.
Do you guys remember Tecmo Tag Team Wrestling?
Yes.
With the referee, 1, 2, 3. It sounded like it was Paul Bearer before Paul Bearer. That was a great game, but
that was good.
I think probably Royal Rumble for Genesis or SNES, that era. Those were fun games too. Those were probably my favorite wrestling games.
See, those ones were fun because again, when you talk about 16-bit earlier, Zach, like those are the ones where like it felt like the presentation, right? I actually like way after like again in Arms Ranked, I got Rage in the Cage because it has the most wrestlers ever, right? On Sega CD. But yeah, just that like it looks like that presentation. It was the most colorful, you know. Even though I think at the era, like most of the wrestlers pretty much wrestled the same, if I recall.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get to spend too much time with it back in the day, but
the theme songs for each of the wrestlers were pretty cool.
Yes, wonderful 16-bit versions.
I remember the Bam Bam Bigelow one going bam bam. That was always fun.
And the Rage in the Cage Sega CD has little video clips, live action video clips of them as they come out or something. It's like in this little postage stamp in the middle of the screen. It's so bad. It's so bad. But man, they had a lot of people on this one. So, or this is today where how many people were announced for WWE 2K? Like 30?
I think it's like 40, close to 40 something.
I mean, that is a respectable. Like you're never going to get the entire roster, but it's like we got like 40, 50 people popping up in these games now, and you can add more.
Yeah,
we had like
you can make your own now.
We started with like 8. There's like I hope you have like Hulk Hogan and $1 Million Man and the Honky Tonk Man,
Macho Man,
and that's like it, right? Yeah, it's really kind of grown from there, and again, just like.
And they had little power-ups that would bounce across the ring. Yes. And I remember Andre the Giant was a giant piece of ham.
I hope you didn't know about that. Yeah, but no, other than that, like for me, WrestleFest games in the arcade were always the greatest. I grabbed that thing for the iPad when they like made a new version of it a couple years ago.
Yeah. Did they release it?
Yeah, they did release it. You can't find it now. Because
they were gonna release it for the 360, and
well, I think it got caught up in all that THQ stuff.
Yeah,
that's very unfortunate. You can't even buy it on the iPhone because I have it on the iPad, and it's like super slow on my old iPad. And I wanted to get it for the phone, so it's like on newer hardware, and you can't even get it. So
I downloaded the trailer for it on 360, and I don't want to delete it because that's the only thing I have left of it.
I know. Keep the memory alive, man. Maybe they'll still bring it back, right?
Yeah.
But no, and that in the those again with the No Mercy, my just not for having No Mercy. I actually had WCW Revenge. That was a good one. And you could palette swap, like change some of their outfits and stuff. So I could change Hulk Hogan back to the red and yellow Hulk Hogan when he switched back. It was fun.
Did they have the rip palette swap?
Oh, I don't know. They might have had a blue one there, and I didn't understand at the time. Yeah. But that was one of those, like, again, that Japanese thing where like you had like your WCW, you had your NWO, you had your cruiserweights, and then you had like some Fed you've never heard of, and a guy comes out looks like Frankenstein, and they call him Frank.
Another underrated wrestling game, Saturday Night Slam Masters by Capcom.
Yes. Why is that not remade?
Yeah. Capcom could make it, you know?
Yep.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. We want to thank our special guest, Zach Gowen. Zach, you can find him on @Zach Gowen and on Twitter, and check out the documentary Finding Zach Gowen on ZachGowen.com. Is that correct?
That's correct, gentlemen. Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast.
No problem. We had fun.
I hope it's an open invitation because I'd love to come back and
anytime you want to come
some more game about video games, man.
Certainly.
All right. And you can follow us on @InsertCoinTV. And you can join us live each and every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock on live.sorgatronmedia.com. Special thanks to Mike Allen @MikeAllenPR for helping us with the notes and tweets, and Missy Sorg. And thank you to @Sorgatron, @DRiz, @Chachi Says. I'm @BobbyFJTown. Game over, guys.